Muppets Now is the latest original series to land on the Disney Plus streaming service. It's yet another project in a long line of attempts by Disney to keep the Muppets brand alive with modern audiences. Before we get into this, don't forget to hit that like button. It does wonders in getting my content out there. And if you aren't already, hit that subscribe button and the bell icon so you don't miss any of my videos going forward. Muppets Now is a series which draws enormous inspiration from the Muppet Show of the 1970s and 1980s, returning Jim Henson's iconic creations to their variety show roots. However, in an attempt to keep them fresh and relevant in modern times, this is the Muppet Show of the digital age, with characters and segments highly modernised in the style of an online variety series. All our favourite characters are here, and in true Muppet style, there are celebrity cameos to boot. As a child of the 1990s, I'm of course a huge Muppets fan. The Muppets were absolutely everywhere back then. There was a movie coming out every couple of years. The old Muppet Show from the 70s and 80s was still playing in prime time on the Disney Channel every weekend. And of course, the old cartoon version of the Muppets Babies series was playing fairly regularly on television as well. So I am of course a huge Muppet fan. I have been for my entire life. I've loved pretty much everything the Muppets have put out, except for those like straight to DVD movies that they did a little while back. But I love the big theatrical films they did not too long ago, and I really enjoyed that ABC series they did, 3 or 4 years ago now as well. So of course I went into Muppets Now really excited to see what Disney were doing now with the Muppets. This is a brand that Disney have kind of, I guess, struggled with over the last decade, maybe the last couple of decades, because I have always been of the feeling, I've said this many times on the channel before, I know a lot of people don't agree with me, but I am of the feeling that the Muppets are very much a product of their time, and they're not exactly something that has translated very well throughout the decades. The Muppets are this brand that's built on very edgy, very subversive, very kind of on-your-nose humour from the 1970s, 80s and 90s. It really fit in very well in that period, but kind of breaking into the more modern era, I don't feel like the Muppets have translated very well. And Disney obviously realised this because there have been numerous reboots of the Muppets franchise over the last decade and a half or so. Disney trying to keep this franchise alive and trying to keep it relevant for the new audience. For Muppets Now, Disney have gone back to square one and are essentially rebooting the old Muppet Show, but for the digital age. They've obviously realised the original Muppet Show had such an incredible spark because it was so modern. It was like a riff, it was a send-up, a parody of those big overblown variety shows of the 70s and 80s, ones hosted by Bob Hope, Ed Sullivan, Johnny Carson, all those kinds of shows. But in today's day and age, it's so digital. Everyone's so tuned into like YouTube and online creators and stuff. So Disney have kind of re-envisioned this as an online variety series. It is very much ingrained in the now, and they're trying to take that style of the original series, which is so inspired by modern trends, modern media, and putting this, well, incredibly heavily modern spin on it. For me, it works in what it's trying to do, I think, but it doesn't work for me personally. This is not a show that I didn't really enjoy it. I'm just gonna say it straight out there. I didn't think this was really great. I came into this really excited. They're rebooting the Muppets. I can't wait to see what they're doing with it. But this is just so highly super modern for me that it goes just a little bit too far. I think for a modern audience, well, maybe this is going to work. Maybe this is that one thing that is going to make the Muppets relevant again. Because when they did the more recent movies and then they did the Muppet series for ABC, it was relying on those really old style kind of Muppet gags that made the original series work so well, and the stuff that I love, the stuff that I think is fantastic. But again, as I said, that doesn't connect with the modern audience. So what they have done here, I think probably will work very well with a modern audience. But for someone like me who is so used to that classic Muppet thing, it just doesn't really work. And I didn't really find much in this that I could really connect with, or that I really found all that enjoying. In fact, I found a lot of it to be quite annoying, to be quite frank. The versions of the characters that are presented here are a little bit annoying. Miss Piggy as this fashion influencer vlogger makes the character even more annoying than usual. The only character that I kind of felt was like true to themselves is Kermit the Frog. And you really can't go wrong with Kermit the Frog, though. I think he's one of those characters that just kind of transcends time. I didn't really think there were too many huge laughs in this. I mean, I can sit there and watch like a classic Muppets thing and just absolutely just laugh my head off, rolling on the floor laughing. I think some of the classic Muppet stuff is just so clever, so funny. I feel like there's a lot of just really sort of easy laughs in here, just really easy, predictable gags that really stuff that I've seen before. There's nothing really new or original with this in the way that it has gone about doing the show in this particular style, if that makes any sense. I had maybe a couple of little chuckles. The thing that I felt worked really well, again, is the Kermit the Frog segment where he interviewed RuPaul. I think there were some really good laughs, some really good gags in there. But again, it just wasn't like overly hilarious. I've only seen the first episode so far, so I can't be like too harsh on it. And I'm actually going to reserve myself from giving this a rating today because I have only seen the first episode. But going by this, it's not a great start. I don't know what you guys are going to think about this one out there either. If you're a long-time Muppet fan like me, I just don't really see that there's much in this, but who knows? Maybe you're just happy to sit and enjoy some Muppets and spend some time with these characters. I mean, I certainly had fun spending some fresh time with these characters, but overall, it just wasn't the show that I was expecting or really hoping for. But I will, of course, watch the rest of the series as it drops, and I hope that my opinion kind of does change over time. And if it does, I will do another one of these little videos kind of at the end of the season, doing like a little roundup. But again, from what I've seen, this is a series that just didn't really work for me very much. While it's fun to spend some more time with our Muppet pals, Muppets Now is another middling attempt at reviving the Muppets franchise in this last decade, and easily my least favourite of the bunch. It lacks the adult edge that made the 70s through 90s series and movies so great, and instead aims itself towards a very young crowd. And at that, it's over to you. I want to know, what were your own personal thoughts on Muppets Now? Did you love it, or are you like me and a little bit impartial to it? As always, throw away down in the comments below and let me know your thoughts. Until next time though, of course, as always, continue to please stay safe out there. Continue to stay at home if you can. I'll see you on the next one. Until then, take it easy. If this is your first time viewing one of my videos and you'd like to see more like it in the future, then please don't forget to hit that big old subscribe button up on your screen, as well as that like button down below for that little extra support. Also, don't forget to check me out on social media, and please consider supporting me over on Patreon. Thanks for watching and have a fantastic day.